Only 3 men to throw them in the fire? Boy, was King Nebi mad. Bow or burn. Spent 3 years in training to be just the right servants for the king. Everything seemed to be hunky-dory until one day. 65? Which allowed Esther and her people to live. You know, this was a very important event in the history of the Jewish people, and they still celebrate it with a holiday called Purim to this very day. I love this story. Wouldn't it be great if we could all have just a little bit of Esther's courage? Now there was a real hero. If you saw an ad that said, "Job opening, we need smart, good-looking, strong people," would you try to get that job? I know. You're much more interested in playing with your friends than getting a job. But I wouldn't mind if someone picked me for my good looks and my brains. One day, back in the Old Testament times, there was this king with a really long name, King Nebuchadnezzar. Say that 5 times fast. Nebuchadnezzar. Ay. Let's just call him King Nebi. The Nebster. The Nebster ordered his employees to go out and find the best young men to come work at his palace. He wanted them to be smart, strong, good-looking young men. So the king's men ran around town looking for just the right guys. They tried the health clubs. We're looking for strong men to work for the king. 65? 66? They tried the schools, looking for smart people. Hey, you should ought to pick me. I'm educated. They even tried the barber shop to see who was getting the best haircut. Oops, sorry there. You didn't need that hair, did you? Finally, King Nebi's men came across 3 guys who had it all. Looks, brains, and strength. Their names were, are you ready for this? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. God gave them wisdom and the ability to learn lots of new things. In fact, they were called wise men. They were just what the king wanted. Now, the king's men found lots of other people, but these guys were the coolest, along with their good friend Daniel. They spent 3 years in training to be just the right servants for the king. Everything seemed to be hunky-dory until one day, everything went wrong. The king did something really dumb. That's not big enough. It's not big enough. Make it huge, gigantic, taller than the tallest tent. What was he building? A statue, 90 feet high and 9 feet wide. I'm glad I'm not 9 feet wide. Or then again, if I keep eating too many chocolate bars. Well, Nebi wanted everyone to worship this huge statue. Now, I don't know what's wrong with these people, but they always wanted to worship scraps of metal and pieces of gold. Seems weird, doesn't it? Well, it's not so weird when you think sometimes we'd rather watch TV all the time instead of reading our Bibles, or hang out with friends instead of going to Sunday school class. Our friends or that TV can be sort of like that statue, something we make more important than God. Well, the king had this big meeting one day so everyone could bow down to this statue. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were there. One of the king's employees announced, "You will hear these horns and flutes. When this happens, you must bow down and worship the gold statue. Anyone who doesn't will be quickly thrown into a blazing furnace." Did he say thrown into a blazing furnace? Like a fire? Well, let me check here. It's in Daniel chapter 3, verse 6. Bow or burn. That'd be a pretty scary choice, huh? I wonder what Shadrach and his friends did. I mean, they loved God, but would they have the courage to risk being thrown into the fire? Let's find out. Meshach said, bow to that stupid thing? What are they, nuts? Why would we do that? I know. I mean, what are they thinking? We only bow to the God of Israel, right, Shadrach? You're absolutely right, Abednego. And that thing is no God of mine.
Now, everyone bow now, bow down.
Out of the whole room full of people, only 3 people were left standing. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They didn't bow down. Some tattletales ran to the king and told on them.
Okay.
Hey, king, hey, guess what we saw? The king was really mad and said to them, is it true that you do not worship the gold statue I have set up? If you do not worship it, you will be thrown quickly into the blazing furnace, and no God will be able to save you from my power. Have you ever sat around a campfire? You know how hot that is. Well, can you imagine standing right smack dab in the middle of one? That furnace was hotter than a campfire, but they still didn't bow down. They wouldn't bow down to that image. And they told the king, you can throw us into the blazing furnace, but the God we serve is able to save us from you. That's right. And even if God does not save us, we want you, our king, to know this. We will not serve your gods or the gold statue you've set up. No way. No way. Boy, was King Nebi mad. He said, tie them up. Put them in the furnace. Heated up 7 times hotter than normal. The flames were so hot. How hot? How hot was it? So hot, the men who threw them in the furnace were toast. And they weren't even inside. Whew, that was a sad story, huh? Oh well, the end. Wait, no, it's not over. Don't go anywhere. I haven't told you the best part. The king saw something weird inside the furnace. He jumped up out of his chair and said, there are 4 guys in there. Didn't we tie up only 3 men and throw them in the fire? Look, I see 4 men walking around. The 4th man looks like the son of the gods. The king yelled for them to come out of the fire. And they did. Walked right out. We're okay. We're okay. Nothing on them was burned, not their hair. Their clothes weren't even black from the smoke, which was great since they were wearing designer threads. God protected them. That 4th person in the furnace, that was the angel God sent down to protect them. The king told everyone to start worshiping the real God, not some statue. Isn't that great? It's a good thing Shadrach and his friends had enough courage to stand up to the king.